Hi everyone. So today I wanted to talk about um, a topic called, let me write it down. It's search versus mapping. So search we all know in any of the applications that we use in websites how we search. So for using search, as implementing it on application, there are multiple um, logics that we use to find out the similar results of what actually user is searching, and I'm comparing this to the mapping. Now, mapping in the sense that let's say I've implemented a solution where I am taking some input from the user. Let's say user is uploading something. I'm taking input. Let's say user is uploading a product image, and with the product image, I'm able to identify the actual product, and I'm showing him the results. So that is the. So we'll talk about how this is implemented. Of course, this is not common across industry. Whereas based on the industry like e-commerce website, how they implement search and how we generally let's say Google is implementing this product image search compared to how different internal applications use search or everything. But so this search will be a normal user search. So let me write it down. This search will be a this will be a normal user search. Means as in you are implementing an independent search user, and this mapping will be an auto mapping, auto or agent based mapping. So we will compare how when you use search independently and user is using it, as in that human is using it. User search used by human versus say if I'm implementing this agent. So let's take example of some particular industry, and that will be more concrete example and help us understand. So let us take example of product example. So let's take example of some hardware. Earlier video we took example of Birla opposite and something. So let us take example Birla hardware or something. So let's take example of pipes. So we pipes is a first defined product. So when you hear a name in a day-to-day basis, how user perspective, let's say you've taken pipes, they may go and say that pipes. So how they buy, let's say they buy purpose driven. So whenever normal users buys, again it depends on the user to user. If I'm using this product for individual my home or for let's say big project, it is an industry buying for a bulk. So it depends, but it's always a purpose driven purchase. What I am buying, and so whenever I'm taking example of let's say me going to a hardware shop and asking for them a pipe, so he may ask me that what is the use case for that. Let's say I'm using for water transportation, or let's say for my in a for bathroom uses, or in a sewer uses or for discharge uses. So it depends for what category I am using. So pipe is a product category. Then it may have like, let's take example of type, product type. In this product, what are the different types? That could be UPVC. Okay, this is a material type. UPVC pipe, CPVC pipe, PVC pipe. This is a material type, not really product type, but material type. This product material UPVC pipe. Then what are the other things? This I'm writing because when the search is going on internally, when you are building this in the application, so generally what happens, and of course we are following this logic, that application that we describe, application of this. Okay, let me write it down. Dealer to retail. Let me write not dealer but distributor. Here there is a brand. So yes. So the catalog that the brand has, I think in the previous video I described, the catalog that brand maintains may be different, is uh, different from what distributor has. The distributor maintains multiple brand for the same product category, and what the retailer maintains would be different because the transaction, the product selling and everything transaction, or how they maintain their business is different across these three entities, distributors or retailers or brands. So distributor, we are only right now focusing on this mapping and such everything part. So this is okay. Let me write it down. So this is the um, scenario we are talking about. So this is the in this scenario we're talking about, and we have implemented this product category, product search, everything in this three entities, and we are searching for them product. We are mapping their product. So we are taking example of distributor, these two entities. So let's say I'm implementing a search for this distributor and retailer product catalog. I've got product catalog from the distributor. I've got something from the retailers. Now, how distributor sells to the retailer? This is a different distributor will sell to the retailer based on their catalog, but brand sells to the distributor of their catalog. Now, this is where this gap happens because the product title, product name is different. So when you implement this in an application, this differences comes. Let's say we are building some autonomous solutions which identifies these gaps. Let's say we are building some agent or a bot, but the agent or bot that you are building, you need to feed in some information. That what are those nuances, what are those gaps that you are that exist between these two product catalogs, brands to the distributors, and that identifying those information, identifying those gaps, identifying those different product titles, names, and everything is mostly a manual process. Again, it's a one-time process, but it is a manual process. Once that knowledge gap is built, when this knowledge gap is filled, the agent or the bot or the autonomous application that you have built will build on that, the knowledge that you build. And again, whenever that cycle starts, let's say the purchase or the invoice that you start sharing to the agent, and it's maps to the product catalog that you share, that you have in your application, so that in a long term this gaps uh, is filled. But at the initial level when you're implementing this is a major gap. So this is overall the context that I described. So yes, moving on, the so right now when I'm describing this product category, type, material, everything. So let's say I'm taking the example of brand level catalog. So I have a catalog from the brand. So the brand maintains this catalog in a different way. So let's say I go to catalog. So it maintains pipes as a product category, and with the pipes they may maintain fittings. They also may maintain solvent in the same category. The putty would be another category. The water tank that we have is another product category. These are all hardware related categories we are talking. Again, if you change the industry, let's say if you move to the fashion industry or e-commerce, there the product title or name category could be different, but the catalog everything is the only gap I see that, let's say, the difference between the parameter is the quantity. So let's say I bought I'm taking example of UPVC pipes. Pipes could be, I have to describe a dimension, 1 inch, one cross, yes, 1.5. This is the dimension of it. Now in distributor catalog or distributor catalog, these may be, there may be quantity, but again it depends on the product. Big product like pipes, water tank, those these would not have the quantity. But the small products, let's say elbow. Elbows are the joints you see. The elbow you have in the electricity pipes that you see. There you also see plastic elbows. That whenever there is also close, they also called bend. Then there is a coupler. Coupler are also kind of the joint. So these are small products. So mostly they are sold in bulk. But again, dimension is there. Dimension is part of it, and material is also part of it. And again, sometimes the brand name is, let's say I'm writing the name of press fit. It is a hardware company, I think based out of Maharashtra. So these are some of the um, parameters or some of the informations that you see whenever you look at the product title or the product name in the catalog and in the invoices that I purchase. Invoices that the distributor sells for the retailer, that distributor or the brand when you do the primary ordering. We call it primary because brand selling to the distributor is the primary and distributor selling to the retailer is secondary, brand or manufacturer. So okay, so all this context we already built. Now let us go what we're actually yes. So let's say I'm implementing an autonomous solution. So I've implemented in my application there is a search where this is my, let's say, a search bar. This is a search bar. So how I implemented this is for application users. They can go and enter the exact name of the product and get a similar result. So implementing this as multiple um, solutions are there. So let me just, there is something called fuzzy matching, fuzzy matching. There is something called character similarity, and third actually there is a, so elastic search is a not a means search implementation logic or algorithm. It is layer that contains all the search implementation, no matter what kind of search logic you are going to implement in your application. So Elasticsearch is a infra layer, let's say infra layer under which you can implement any search logic that you want. So fuzzy matching is the similarity matching. Similarity in the sense that related product. So will be visible to related product. That will also be visible to you. Character similarity is of simple terms is the, let's say, user types like C. So any product that matches the first or second letter of it will be displayed in the search results. So this is a independent search implementation. So many companies depending on the application or industry they are in, they have this hybrid search logic. They have multiple search logic, not one logic implemented for their search implementation. And search is the key part of any application. You go to e-commerce, you go to um, any website, let's say yes, government website or any website. You search is the most important part. That is how user is looking for things that they here for on your application. So it one of the core or main application products or features that is application. So let's say I've implemented this through an agent. So now coming to the mapping part. Let's say I've implemented this using an agent. Let's say I've implemented this mapping. Now mapping is nothing but let me first write it. Mapping I'm talking is that when I got the invoice, then I extracted product titles. Third thing I did was search for product title in my application, then get those search results and the first one and fifth map it extracted title. So when I have taken the or the invoice from the distributor and from which product title, say I got the UPVC pipe 1 inch, that is my product title from the invoice, the distributor invoice that I have. Now I will search for this. I'm taking one example, but each invoice contains 50, 70, contain any product title, nothing. Now again, this whole step by step is I have implemented this on my autonomous level. It is done by the agent. Agent is extracting the product title, and now it is going and searching for this product title in my application. Now here, now it calls the search API. It gets the result and picks the first one. Now it based on the product title that let's say this product title UPVC pipe hinge, it sends this title to this application and gets a result. Let's say it's in the post request for it sends the post request with this product title. And what if and it the first result it maps to the product title, and here is the comparison. Now before mapping it, now this would be the sixth. Yes. Compare the duration level, decide whether product actual that so at this stage, the comparison stage. So and that it maps to last. So this comparison stage when it compares the accuracy level, this is where all the information that you talked about that product title gaps like elbow could be written as elbow. This is spelling differences, dimension gaps, or the uh, quantity gaps. So whatever is the new nuance, let's say sometime it is band, sometime it may happen that distributor in lieu for a particular product is selling for that product a different product. Yes, sometimes one product could be implement in actual usage would be applied to the same product. So maybe he's selling on that product, maybe brand name is not in the product title. So all these gaps is feed into the prompt, the agent prompt that you use. When it actually got the first result from the search API and um, checking the accuracy level, that how accurate is the um, extracted product title and the search result that it is got from the application, the catalog product title present in the application, and then it decides whether to map this to the product or not, decide whether this is correct product or not, whether how we will this is what we have. So when you implement this using this agent, so most of the, let's say, gap that comes when you are doing this mapping is again how detailed, how elaborate, how intricate, how nuanced your prompt is, because most of the performance that you see in mapping accuracy and how it improves is based on how accurate your search is and your prompt is for this mapping. And again, this prompt optimization, optimize a prompt to include more cases, more diverse cases, more edge cases as you go through testing and find out more things. But again, depends that how detailed and how different edge cases you want to cover in that. And again, this prompt optimization is also limits when you want to achieve depending on the accuracy that you want 95%, 98%. It depends how accurate you can. But again, with the optimization, it is possible to go to more than 95%, 96%. So okay, I think that's all. Talk about something else related to this.